Our yes, we are live. We are live in effect. We are chilling inside the 401 Sports World Studio.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to Turnbuckle Talk. I'm Mr. 401 and my tag team partner right here. Bad
I'm gonna change.
news.
I got you right. I'm gonna change it next time. I'm gonna change it up.
You gonna change it up?
Yeah. I'm gonna change the name thing up. I'm gonna have it right for you. I can't. You don't got over on me, so I can't. I'm gonna change it next time.
I mean, I'm trying to put you over. You know what I'm saying? The bad
Yeah.
man.
Right.
But you always bring in the fire, man, and that's what counts the most, man. So, then we're gonna cover this week, in the WWE. We got some other news too that has broken, dealing with WWE as well.
Right.
So we'll take care of all that too. So it should be pretty lit show today, man.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. Well, look, we can't move no forward until we show you again. Bad news, Brown. Google this guy, uh, and you understand. You understand why we keep bringing him up. But the bad man, bad news, Brown. Turnbuckle
Legendary.
talk. Yes, sir.
Legendary.
All right, let's get to it, Reg.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's Reg. I'm 411. Welcome to the show. Reg, what's been going on with you real quick, man? I ain't talked to you in a little bit, so just let me know how your day been, man.
Today's been pretty good. We missed last week. Unfortunately I had a medical emergency with my son, but he's doing better. I had to stay in the hospital a few nights, but thoughts and prayers from everyone. He's doing better. Went back to school today, so we're on the right road.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Glad everything's heading in the right
In
direction there for you, man.
case, in case one day he come across this by chance, shout out to my son Bradley. Love you.
Yeah, shout out, shout out. All right, yeah, definitely, man. You got this stuff in the archives too, man, so that's good too.
Right, right,
So you know what I mean? But yeah, everything's been going well, man. It's been raining on and off too, man. Uh,
right.
I, gu-
This
I
fall
guess
weather
that,
might be coming out, man.
yeah, might be coming like sooner than we thought, right?
Right. This fall weather might. I mean, time. It's almost as we always say in the South. A little bit of cold. It's almost Christmas time, man.
That's it. And once it start hitting
Yes.
60 degrees, man, then it's time to turn the heater on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, but look, the heat is on now, man, and with WWE, and it's some good heat. There's breaking news today. We know there was some things already in the works, but
Mm,
now uh the merger is official. You know what I'm saying? The New York
right.
Stock Exchange and all that now. So we're looking at the merger here with UFC and WWE under the Endeavor umbrella. But now UFC WWE is merged and now it's TKO. And so, man, this is big news, man. What is your initial, just what you thought about when you heard this news today?
Um, I'm like we're in the midst of a change. Somewhere, somehow, there's going to be a change, a big shift. I don't think they just bought this just to go along with how things been going. I think they may have some ideas in the works already. So it's one of those things. Like 20 years from now, we'll look at it like wrestling is totally different from when we grew up. And I know it's different from when my dad or your dad grew up, but it's still the
Yeah,
same main main thing with the way it was all done. But now I think somehow that's going to change. I actually read something earlier that said that they're looking at making every UFC fan a WWE fan and every WWE fan a UFC fan. So I'm like,
Really?
wow. So they already. I wonder how they're gonna do that. It's crazy. And then also remember they also passed that law or something where they were about to have it where you can on these betting site bet on wrestling. So is all this going to tie in together somehow?
Hey man. I think, it's all, yeah, all that's coming, man. It's gonna be uh they already kind of deal with it a little bit, but it's really gonna be in vogue to to place your friendly wagers on professional wrestling matches.
Right.
That's gonna happen. They just gotta fine tune how that's gonna work. You know what I mean? Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, you really don't know what the outcome's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Right.
know, and it's just like, like the Emmy Awards or something like that, or the NBA lottery. They have the whatever the actual outcome is going to be, and they already know that outcome.
But
You
it's
know, like
predetermined.
yeah, or like with the balls, right? With the lottery, they go ahead and do all that, but they don't announce it to the show. But they
Right.
keep all the results, under lock and key. You got the law firm, all that kind of stuff. Everything's covered, so nothing leaks. And then they give you the results. And so you could do that for wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You could keep everything on the lock and key. Nothing can get out. And then whatever the results are, you're
You,
just kind of gauging on it. Trying to predict,
what,
like what we do.
what about those insiders, the insiders and the dirt sheet guys? What do you do with those? Talk about stuff getting out and getting leaked.
Yeah. Well, again, now if you're going to go into that world, what I'm saying, of what we're saying there, where you can make legal bets and things like that, I'm certain they're not going to move forward with that without closing all those doors. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and if anything did happen to come out, I mean, it's probably going to be some heavy, heavy, uh,
That's a good point.
punishment for that. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, think about it. If you work there or something like that, or you a writer, or like you said, with the dirt sheet people, and you get your hands on this information, and then you leak it, well, not only is that person gonna get in trouble, but the person that they got the information from about to go down too, because they're gonna put the feds in
Right.
there and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think
I
you want to
didn't,
put yourself in that kind of bucket. You know what I mean?
oh, okay. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Does that, in your mind, does that make wrestling the future brighter or bigger when because the element, I mean, you actually eliminating kayfabe, but you're actually it's getting to be real in a sense.
Yeah, I think it'll make it even better because if you think about it, when wrestling probably first came along, and I'm talking way, way back, right? Like 100 years ago, whatever. Like that was one of the major forms of entertainment, right?
Hmm.
It go all the
Hmm.
way up to like, all the way up to like maybe even before we were born, right? Before we were born, it was still one of the major forms of entertainment for people. Um,
Right.
and then in the '80s, I mean, you had Saturday Night Main Event on national TV, right?
Hmm.
90, almost like 90 million people watching an episode.
True.
Wrestling has dropped tremendously from those type of numbers, but when you look at how football, right, NFL, it wasn't always like the king of the sports
Right.
world, if you will,
Right.
right? But with the increasing of the betting and the gambling and things like that, the sport of football is really become, the most popular sport. And it's really
Right. It's
because of
like
that. You know what I'm saying?
it's entertainment. I didn't even think about that because I remember
Yeah.
when I was small watching like the Super Bowls. I mean, the halftime show it was you might get a Michael Jackson there, but as for it to be this whole event that people look forward to in contrast with and combined with the Super Bowl, now the halftime show is like the main event kind of, and
Yeah.
like you said, I forgot about that. Those win the best Super Bowls, and we didn't have all this marketing stuff to it. So you got
Yeah.
a point. You got a point. I didn't even think
Well,
about that. And then
well,
you
this should
look at
increase.
if it's called sports entertainment. So is that now about to be a whole league of its own kind of sort of? And you have that's kind of that's kind of this is something to look forward to.
Yeah. Well, you already it's all under the combat sports type of realm anyway. With
Right.
WWE, UFC, boxing, combat sports. A lot of those, there's a lot of wrestlers are, you know, former athletes in other sports. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's wrestling, whether it's Greco-Roman wrestling, or whether it was football or track and field, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's athletes that come from all different angles, and actually mixed martial artists, right? We have Ronda Rousey and with Shayna Baszler and so on and so forth, right? And going back, to Ken Shamrock and people like that who were actually fighters, and they transition into the transition into the wrestling, and you
Mm-hmm.
have wrestling, what I'm saying? So it could go, it's all kind of under the same type of thing, just different ways
Right.
of
Right.
doing it. And I think it's a great move by both of them because, as you stated earlier, you're bringing both fan bases in together.
Right. It's funny you said that because I'm looking at it like you said. You got so many like Brock and Ronda. Those were two of the biggest UFC crossovers to WWF. That was
Brock
huge.
Lesnar, yes,
So now you're making it maybe that's an easier route, an easier path to go from one to the other. And who knows? Some people might choose to do both at the same time.
yeah. Think about it. There's got to be, especially if you're already a UFC fighter, you're currently in that. Like let's just say we use this person as Conor McGregor, right? He's already a UFC fighter, so he already is in that side of things, and then he can come over and get into a special type of wrestling match or what have you, or even like the Pauls, right? The Paul brothers, they do a little bit of both right now. Can you
Right,
imagine how they're going to capitalize on something like this? You know what I mean? They're going to be having MMA fights.
right,
They're
right,
going to
right.
have wrestling matches, like, and they can cross promote. Like this thing's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's really going to be wild. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine a wrestler actually challenging another person to a real fight, UFC rules? Just
I
like
mean, it can
now,
happen.
because you won't have like Brock where he's experienced and you have just two people just basically uh take a Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I mean, few got that far that they actually turned to a real fight.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. That would be crazy. But guess what? I think we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, Reggie. Uh, I think they were a little bit ahead of their time, but Shayna Baszler and it was Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and they had their match at SummerSlam. Remember, we was
Hmm.
talking about how they had their fight under
Right.
the UFC rules at SummerSlam, and how it could have went off better if it was under look more it was under the UFC umbrella, if you will, like actually using the octagon and things like that. Now we can do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now something like that can actually happen. So
Exactly.
we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
here's a
Yeah.
couple and here's a little summary of what we just discussed. Here you go.
TKO Champion of the World!
And there it is, Reggie.
I got one quick question before we leave that topic.
Yes, sir.
What what if it doesn't work?
Well, hey, look.
I'll just leave
If it
that. I'm
don't,
just
guess
leaving
what? I don't. I mean, what if? Hey, they made some money. You know what I'm saying?
that. Yeah.
At the end of the day, they made a lot of money. Um,
Right.
But
was thinking
but I
about
find it but I
the
find it hard
football.
for it not to work though. I find it hard for it not to work because WWE's already successful. It's already
Right,
been
right.
in,
So
you know,
establish it.
for so
Yeah.
long, and UFC is like it's bigger than boxing. You know what I mean? So
Right,
I think they can work on their own, but them combining is just really taking something. Just it's doing something different here.
right.
We got some other, and one more note before we get to the Friday Night SmackDown review. Uh, let's go. Royal Rumble. They've announced it. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida,
Tampa,
in
Florida.
January. Yeah, Tropicana Field, man. So Royal Rumble. Uh,
Tampa. They love Tampa.
yeah, it's gonna be in Tampa. So, man, Reggie 411 may have to get down there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's enough time. Hey, I can save up for some tickets.
Oh yeah, yeah. We can fill the car up and get down there, man. It ain't
Yeah,
not too far
yeah.
away from us. So we'll check that out, man. That's the road to WrestleMania. So it goes down. Royal Rumble. It's gonna set the tone. We're gonna know
Right. That's the
who are the
tone set.
challenge. Yeah, we know who's gonna be in the main events after that. We just
Right.
don't know what brand they gonna go after. But man, it's gonna be great. Uh, okay, but that's enough of that. Let's get into the SmackDown review, Reg. Since the last time we've been together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I checked this while I was up in the hospital with my son. It was actually a really good SmackDown. And I think when we looked at it a few months ago, we can tell that SmackDown was basically about or WWE in general was focusing on the Judgment Day. They're really focusing on not Judgment Day, but Brawling. Now they're really focusing on the Judgment Day, and I just love that.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna hit some spots from when I review it because it was actually a pretty good SmackDown. Of course, we have why did I just draw a blank? Give me the card. I'm sorry. I drew a
Okay,
blank.
no,
I drew.
we'll give you something to kick off with right there.
Oh yeah. That was actually a pretty good match. That was actually a pretty good match, and um, I think WWE is doing a great job. I think this is all about pushing Shotski, if I pronounced that right.
Yeah,
She put
yeah.
up a good show. I wasn't a big Shotzi fan at first, but now I'm actually starting to like her, and I like the fact that they put her in there with veterans. Uh, Charlotte Flair, one of the best, Bailey, one of the best, and then you have the WWE SmackDown champion, Io Sky. I thought it was a pretty good matchup, and once again they gave Shotzi the pin. She got the win, so that looks good on her belt that she got the win in this. And then at the end, um, we have Oscar came out, which she came out distracted Io Shirai. And I was like, finally, because I thought they had skipped out on this match. I was like, finally, we're going to get it. So she came in, caught Bailey off guard, and after that, her and Io Sky squared off. Oscar didn't attack her, which was kind of odd. She didn't attack her, but you can tell they're looking forward to that match. And I think they is that going to be what date? Did they put a date on that?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 weeks. They're gonna
2 weeks
that's
from now.
that's
Yeah, so
that,
2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
yeah, it's
So
gonna be
we
two
get
weeks from
from Friday. Yeah, 2 weeks from Friday.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
we're getting a premium live event type match on SmackDown in 2 weeks. So that's something to look forward to. And I won't. I don't know who I want to win, so I can't give an early prediction of it because I want each. I actually one of those things where the fans win, so whoever wins, I'm all for it. I hate to see either one of them lose, but I know it's going to be a good match, and hopefully it's not a one-off. Hopefully they can start a rivalry, and we can get some type of stipulation match on a premium live event, make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
can I sneak something in also? Hey, before we go to
You
that guy
sure
right there,
can.
can I sneak something in about that last match? And Mr. 411 sometimes he don't like for me to spread little rumors or anything like that, but I have to sneak this.
Uh-oh.
So it's already been. I think it's official that what's the girl's name? She just got signed back. Nia Jax
Um,
injured her. Nia Jax had injured her. A Japanese. Why did her name escape
Io
me?
Sky?
No, not Io
No,
Sky,
no,
not Io
not Io
Sky.
Sky. Kyrie
Um,
Sane? Ooh,
Kyrie Zane, she will be making a return.
okay.
So it'll be really cool if they kind of mix her into this whole thing.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
be huge, man. That's gonna be a
yeah,
big moment because a lot of fans are definitely looking forward to her returning to the
right, right,
WWE.
right.
All right. Well,
Okay,
let's talk about your guy.
throw it at me. Okay, my guy. I think that hopefully that name doesn't stick and it doesn't come back to bite me. Oh, because sometimes I think Mr. Boone wants to say this is your guy, this is not my guy, kind of thing. But no, he had a match with Austin Theory, and like you said, um, LA Knight is my guy. But for some reason, I have this soft spot for Austin Theory, and I really didn't want to
Really?
see him. Yes, I actually do. I don't know why, but I really didn't want to see him lose his match. And I thought this probably could be a bigger match. Actually thought it would be a match that was for Theory's title, but he lost that title. Pretty good match, another showcase win for LA Knight, but I just hate they had to sacrifice my guy, Austin Theory. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do have a
With
soft spot
Theory,
for.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Theory's good, man. He's been in the main kind of scene for a minute here now. Um, so I
was
think
he? Is LA Knight still in his shine?
you think so? Or you asking me that, or what you saying?
I'm actually that. They kind of the same type guy to me. I know one of them's getting major is white hot, and the other one's a heel, so the fans are booing him. But yeah, I kind of think he came in and kind of stole the thunder from Theory.
Ooh, okay. Um, I'm gonna say that it is. He's taking a little bit of the shine off because uh, that could be more time, more opportunity for Austin Theory. But I'll say this: Austin Theory has had, you know, Money in the
Yeah,
Bank, right? You know what I'm saying? He's had
right.
that opportunity. He's won the Money in the Bank.
See,
He
you're
has
right.
won the U.S. title. He's won, you know what I'm saying, multiple times. He's dealt with and survived Bobby Lashley.
Mhm.
So I think that it's enough room for all of them. And right
Okay,
now, it's a matter of just seeing who's gonna get to the top again. You know what I mean?
right.
LA Knight still has to prove himself.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, when he does, fans, I know you'll.
Go after it again. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
Right,
I don't think that's quite over yet. And we'll know about more of that when we talk about Monday Night Raw. But
right.
I think it's still good. Yeah. So technically, yeah, a little bit of shine being taken away
Mhm.
because there's another star. You know what I'm saying in the solar system now, and that's LA Knight because he's really hot. You know what I'm saying? T-shirts are selling.
Hmm.
But you're right. Let's not forget about Austin Theory and all the good work that he's doing. I think that eventually Theory will get into that world title picture. You know what I mean? He'll get into that at some point. He just got to keep on keeping on. So we'll see. I would love to just see them have a premium live event type match.
Right,
I would
right,
love
right.
that.
Because in my head, in my Booker head, had already like this kind of a storyline. You came in, kind of took my shine away, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I was wondering. I hope they maybe. I mean, down the line we might get it. We might not get it right now, but who knows? Down the line they might run into each other. So we can't.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, we can't. We'll just leave that out there. Like you said, they do. They're and if they do leave it out, let's say a couple years from now, more experience and everything. So I'm sure that would be a great feud.
Absolutely. All right. And you got a couple more matches on here you can choose from.
Can you put that back up for me? Okay, so the Brawling Brutes versus the Judgment Day match. Now this one I was in and out on because, like I said, I was dealing with a few things. But did you catch that one?
Well, I saw enough of it.
Okay,
It was a physical match. Yeah, it was a physical match, Reggie. Brawling Boots, they came and brought it. They came out. the Judgment Day at first, they came out, they did their thing, right? You know how they always come out, they talk their
Mhm.
trash. Dominic gets the mic. You
Did
can't
you
get a
hear
word
that?
out. Yeah,
Did
you
you hear
can't get a
that?
word out.
That was crazy. I was like, that is crazy.
It's next level, man. It's
I
next level.
never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
That is
And what we
crazy.
and what we're talking about, people, is that when Dominic Mysterio grabs the microphone and puts it here, the crowd
Right,
just boos. They
right.
rain with boos,
I
and
don't
it's
even know
so,
if it gets that far.
yeah, it's so loud that you can't even hear what he's saying.
That that is.
He
I want
has
to
the he
experience.
has huh?
I want to experience. I want to be there for one of those.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Now you want to be there so you can participate and be in
Right,
there to boo. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And so, man, he's got to stay a heel like for, I don't know, another 2 years at least or
You're probably
more.
right, right. But he's built.
You
I
know,
like it because actually now, if he builds it up and he does go back babyface, I'm sure the crowd will love it. So he got the crowd really in the palm of his hand right now. And
yeah, and he's so new. I say he's new to the game because he's been around the wrestling since what '05 as a kid
right,
all the
right.
way up. Because of his dad and everything and the family that wrestles and stuff. But and all the ties with that. But man, to actually be like a WWE in ring performer, uh, man, he's just getting started and he's already in the mix like this. So you can only imagine, like what Ed said. We talked about this on last show.
Hmm.
Uh, 25 years from now, Dominic Mysterio will be one of those people that will be in the WWE Hall of Fame, and that's a lot of praise coming from someone like Edge. But anyway, Judgment Day, Brawling Brutes, physical match. Uh, it went back and forth. Judgment Day, they figure out a way to win the match. They, the numbers game always comes into play with Judgment Day, and
Right,
so
right.
they end up getting the victory. But that's pretty much how that went down with the Brawling Brutes and Judgment Day. And I like the Brawling Brutes, by the way, too. Shout out to Sheamus for helping those guys, getting them on the
Hmm.
map, and they're a really formidable tag team.
Right, right.
How
Is
about
that
AJ Styles and Jimmy Uso?
before you move on? Is that the match? Or is that was Raw when the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley came out? Was that on SmackDown? Or was that
Oh,
Raw?
that was SmackDown. I mean, we can get to that too if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. Let's. Yeah, yeah. They faced off. Let's go ahead and cover that while we're on Judgment Day before we move to that last one.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley came out, squared off with the Judgment Day, which would I don't know if the Street Profits would want to go after the titles, or is this going to be a 6-man thing, or you'll look at Priest versus Lashley would be a good matchup. But they came out and let the Judgment Day know. The Judgment Day says they rule everything, bro. It's a new show in town. They letting them know they got their eye on the title and an eye on their spot. So I just want to see where this one goes. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give it some time before I say something. And I want to say it too prematurely about the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. So I'm gonna give it
okay,
a little time to cook. But
okay. Well,
quick
I'm
question. Is Lashley injured or anything?
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
They're probably just kind of marinating him. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
He doesn't have to wrestle every week. And you notice that. That's what's happening a lot. Like, look at Cody. Last couple weeks, he's been like in the Premium Live event. He was in the Grayson Waller Effect talk show.
Right,
He,
right,
but
right. It
he's
shows
he, but
face.
he,
Right.
right. But he announced that he's bringing it. He use some of his power to get Uso back in. Then the
Right, right.
next week he comes out and he just talks, and then it's like they're kind of easing everything. They're trying to set things up, and
Mhm.
over the last 4 weeks or so, Bobby Lashley has basically just been seen in the back,
Right, right, right,
recruiting. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Coming out after the Street Profits with a match. So you're getting to see him, but not in the ring and not in the action yet. I think
Right,
they're
right.
setting up something here. Survivor Series usually what they changed it over to like war games, so that's usually like 4-on-4 if I ain't mistaken, or five
Right,
on
right.
five or something like that. So
Right,
so Judgment Day they have what, three male members and female members. So I'm not
right.
sure how they could do it for Survivor Series. Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. Who's going to be added to the Judgment Day? Who would be added to the Hurt Business 2.0 that I'm hoping that it becomes? Like, do you get a Trick and Mellow to add to the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, and then now you got them
Right,
in the War Games? You know what I'm saying? So we don't know which way this is going to go. But just on face value, I can see that there's some sort of Lashley against Priest, and then some sort of way the Street Profits are going to try to go after the unified tag team championships
right, right,
on
right.
face value right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll
Right,
see.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but again, that ties in again with Priest because he has both Money in the Bank
Mm-hmm.
and he's a tag champ. So who knows where this is going right now? But I think they're setting us up for something. So
Right,
we'll
right,
have to
right.
see how it
Yeah,
pan out.
right. It's the long game, which I like. Which I like. I like storytelling, so they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah, and speaking of Judgment Day, again, this has been their show, man. Towards the end of the show, well, first we got to get to where it was, what Jey Uso and AJ Styles. I mean, not
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Uso and
Jimmy,
AJ Styles, right?
that's right.
Oh, okay. What you got there?
I actually love this match. For some reason, I always tell you that I'm not a big Usos fan. I think it's just
Yeah.
Jay. Because just for some reason, I like Jimmy, and I don't know if I'm
Oh
like him
my.
because he's kind of playing this. I don't know what the character he is. He's kind of like a punk, but he's kind of like uh he'll take advantage. He's just dirty, man. He's really dirty. He's playing slick games. So at the beginning of this match, AJ Styles basically had the upper hand in the match, but he kept running out like cowardly running away from AJ Styles until he got, I think it was an elbow shot in, which I'm very impressed by Jimmy Uso, man. I'm very impressed by Jimmy Uso. I wish they would have gave him the victory. They didn't give him the victory. I wish they would have gave him the victory though. So, ow, I'm trying to think how did this win. And you lead me into the ending
Well,
of
I
this.
mean, it was a good physical match, but then you know, Solo shows up.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right. So
saying? Yeah, Solo shows up. Of course, Paul Heyman's there too, and Jimmy continues, and all throughout the night, right? All throughout the match, you basically can tell that Jimmy is like trying to, I don't want to say try to prove himself, but he's trying to, ingratiate himself back into the bloodline.
right,
But
right, right.
based
Yeah, he
on,
tried to
but
prove himself a little bit on his own. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
yeah, yeah, and that's what he constantly was doing. But especially when his brother came out, and so somehow, somewhere, I think he made a couple mistakes. He made one fatal mistake. AJ Styles, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world,
Hmm.
period. You know what I'm saying? In the story, like he capitalized on him, ends up ends up pinning him, and so then now you're wondering, okay, what's gonna happen next? Because Jimmy didn't win. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And lo and behold, the Judgment Day once again get involved, and they're in everybody's storyline. They bring AJ. They bring AJ to Solo. You know what I'm saying? And
What was
as a
up with
result,
that?
I don't know, man. I guess that's what we gotta wait and see because
Mhm.
Solo laid him out with the spike. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And so I don't know if they're trying to do favors for the bloodline. Like, I don't know what this is. Maybe that might be the answer to our question. Remember we were talking about how you want to add a couple more members into the war games. Maybe
Right.
somehow Judgment Day and the wall. Like maybe that's where we're going here.
Can you repeat that for the fans? You went out, but we didn't
Okay.
hear that.
All right. All right. Where did I leave off at? Was it about war games?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe the one to two members that remain on the bloodline right now, maybe Solo.
I think it may be the weather. Yeah, we keep breaking up.
Okay, all right. So maybe Solo somehow Solo, in the Judgment Day get together for War Games, like on the same side. Maybe that's it.
My goodness, you're absolutely right. I forgot about that. Because
I mean, maybe
as we lead into Raw, you'll cover that. There's some Bloodline Judgment Day stuff going on over there.
yes, sir. So just
Ah,
maybe,
ah,
man.
it all ties in. All ties in.
Yeah, but of course we don't know, right? But you know,
Right.
we're trying our best to figure this thing out, just like any other fan would.
All right, hey, it keeps us engaged, guys. It does keep us engaged.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's SmackDown, man. Um, Overall, it was a good show, though. I always enjoy SmackDown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a really, really good show. Good show.
All right, we're gonna
And
slip over here to Monday Night Raw, Reggie.
oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Raw. Here's the card. Here are the results from Raw, and let's start off with the Judgment Day. Okay, they end up in a tag match with Jay Uso and Kevin Owens. Jay Uso comes out. You know, the fans love him. He's doing the thing. Getting the
Right.
fans hyped, doing all that good stuff. And then here comes KO. He doesn't forget all the things that the Usos have done to Kevin Owens,
Yeah, you put him
as
through a
Kevin
lot.
Owens was trying to, right, they put him through a lot. And so he doesn't forget that. And he's like, you got to prove yourself. Jay's like, hey, you don't have no partner. I'll partner with you. Let's take out Judgment Day. They have a really good match. It's back and forth. Looks like KO might be able to get that W. Jimmy comes with the super kick, inadvertently hits KO. Judgment Day capitalize, they win. KO's not happy about that. So that's how that goes, right?
Hmm.
But it was still a good match. So then let's talk about Miz and Tozawa, okay? The Miz, we talked about this earlier. We hinted towards this with LA Knight. So there's going to be a future match now with Miz,
Hmm.
LA Knight. Miz gets his revenge on Tozawa. Tozawa got that one victory a couple weeks ago over the Miz
Over the
due
years,
to a
right?
lot of distraction, a lot of help. Miz pretty much annihilates this guy, takes him out. Skull Crusher finale more than one time, Reggie.
Right, three times.
Yes, there you go. Makes a major point. So that's what we have there. Miz is just coming out trying, making it look real strong for this one. Take Since I was one of the favorites too. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the
Right, right.
favorites. He's a hard worker. He give you good matches whenever he does wrestle on
Hmm.
Raw. You have to watch like main event. You'll see him on those shows if you have the
Right, right.
network. And by the way, those shows have some good matches, man. They kind of like house matches.
Right. There's more of the low key show. I have to watch. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it in a
Yeah,
while, in a long time.
yeah, check it out because it's some of the superstars you don't see on Raw or on SmackDown. They wrestle
Hmm.
on the main event, and they have some really good matches. They only give you like two matches, then they give you like summaries of what happened on Raw and SmackDown. So it's kind of like watching
Okay.
some old school All American, like All American wrestling or something like that, like back in
Right,
the day. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But it's pretty solid. But Cesaro goes down in easy fashion. Drew McIntyre, Xavier Woods. This was a good match. And the last couple weeks, but if it was 2 weeks ago, I believe Drew McIntyre inadvertently hit Xavier Woods with a chair. He wasn't trying to, but he ended up hitting him with the chair, and he really hit him with the chair.
He
Xavier
really.
Woods really missed time because he really got hit with that chair in a fashion that he really didn't want to be hit with.
Right,
So
right,
I
right,
guess they weaved all that in to the story. Basically, it comes down to Drew McIntyre's got a real bad attitude of late. He's just kind of frustrated. You could tell. Um,
right.
doesn't really ingratiate himself yet with all the guys yet. And the New Day, they always upbeat. right? And so Drew was just like, I'm him and Kofi got into it, and so Kofi stood up for Xavier, and I guess Xavier finally just confronted, Drew. So they ended up having this match. It was a good match, but man, he got Claymore. He's out. It was a good match though, but that Claymore was serious business, man. That kick was serious. So Drew gets
Uh,
that W.
and I didn't catch
Yeah, okay.
Shayna and
Am I
Chelsea.
still there? Can you
Yeah,
still
yeah,
hear me,
you
Rick?
said, yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. So Shayna Baszler and Chelsea Green, they have their match. And Chelsea did not I think she was looking for a new tag team partner, but she
Right.
didn't realize that her real tag team partner showed up. And so I think there's a lot of dissension there. But Chelsea Green, she gets beat down by Shayna Baszler. That sends us back to what we were talking about with UFC, right? Shayna Baszler is excellent at wrestling. She's also excellent at the UFC side of things. So we'll see how things go with that merger. But yeah, that
When,
match,
when you say her tag team, are you talking about her real partner? What's her name?
yeah, Piper.
Sonya Deville. Oh, you talking about
No,
Piper?
no, I'm talking about Piper Niven. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
Piper
okay.
showed back up. Yeah, because Piper was out for an injury,
Right,
and
right.
so Chelsea again, another tag team partner, goes down, but she showed up, and so she ended up having the one-on-one match with Shayna. Shayna take care of business. Some stuff down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to Gunther. All right, the Intercontinental Champion. He breaks the record of the Honky Tonk Man, longest, for the longest reign there. Uh, Comes out, celebrates. It gets interrupted by the Alpha Academy, and uh, they get into all this back and forth numbers game by Imperium, 3-2. So Tommaso Ciampa gets involved, and now we end up having a six man there with the Alpha Academy and Tommaso Ciampa against Imperium. And so Imperium, for those who don't know, it's the whole faction. So when Gunther and his partners are all together, they're Imperium. And so
Right.
they end up losing though. They end up losing. There's some multiple tap outs going on there. Alpha Academy and Tommaso look strong. I'm gonna ask you this, Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chad Gable was close, right? He's the only one that had a victory over
Come.
Gunther in a long time, right?
Mhm.
Uh, but now Tommaso looks like he's trying to get into the mix. What do you see happening here? What does the dome? What's going on in your dome right now? What do you think's going to happen with this intercontinental picture?
I still think Chad Gable deserves to win over Gunther because it's not that Gunther did what he's supposed to do. He put the title, he's put it back on the map. It's time for him to move up and challenge for the one of those top titles, either Roman or Seth. So I wouldn't even consider it a loss for Gunther if he loses, kind of like a promotion, kind of sort of. But I do think Chad Gable is the person to win. And if Tommaso Ciampa goes out to Chad Gable, that's going to be nice. It's
That's
going to
gonna
be
be a great
nice.
match. Yeah,
Yeah, there will
yeah,
be great matches and matches. Now, I will tell the fans something. Mr. 401, he loves NXT. I'm not big on NXT. He loves NXT. So he knows these guys. He put me on a match with uh, Tommaso Ciampa and his frenemy, Johnny Gargano at
yes,
Take on Chicago. I think it was the second one.
yeah,
That's probably the greatest match I ever seen. And I'm sitting here to tell you, I'm a fan of Tommaso Ciampa now.
yes,
I'm a
sir.
huge fan of Tommaso Ciampa. Johnny Gargano too, but I like Tommaso Ciampa. So if he does get a run, even if Gable, concentrate more on tag and Tommaso Ciampa beats, I don't see Tommaso beating Gunther. I don't,
Yeah,
but that would be a hell of a match still if they went at it.
yeah. Now Gunther was in the six man at WrestleMania. I mean, three-way at WrestleMania. Survived that. Do
Mm,
you think that maybe another three-way for the Intercontinental, and then
Ooh,
Tommaso either pins Gable or Gable pins Tommaso.
you know
Gunther
what?
never got pinned. He lose the title, but he never got pinned.
Hey, we're freaking geniuses. If I don't know it, you know it. That's exactly what should happen. That's exactly what should happen. Because you can go ahead and give Chad Gable the win over Tommaso. Then you have those two feud, and you have Gunther to move on to something else. That
Yep,
would be perfect.
and he can always say that he never got pinned or submitted
Right,
to
right,
lose that
right,
title. The only
right,
reason he lost it was because you had to you pinned this guy. You know what I'm saying, or something like
right.
that. So I think everybody wins that way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely,
we'll see.
definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely see down the line. All right, let's
And
see what else we have here.
before we get to the
Oh,
next
go
one,
ahead.
fans, Mr. Furman want to shoot some ideas to me off screen sometimes, and he sends one talking about way too early WrestleMania predictions. So
Oh yes,
we're gonna have to bring that video in a couple of weeks. Way too early WrestleMania prediction.
yeah, we gotta do that because I have one reason I'm burning to just share, and it's
Okay,
way too
okay,
early for it. But
okay.
we gotta get that out there because I got one too. So
Hey,
we
let's do that. That's gonna be our next show. We're gonna hit the review real quick, and then we'll go into that.
all right, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and move into the main event. Rhea Ripley. Matter of fact, she wasn't involved in a lot of the Judgment Day shenanigans all night. They showed her back in the dark area, I guess, where the Judgment Day hang out. Her belt's hanging off of a gate or something back there. You know, it's
Hmm.
Judgment Day like. You know what I'm saying? And so she's preparing for this big match, and Raquel is a formidable opponent, man. You could see it.
Right.
Yeah, I really love the matchup, and it was a very good match. Rhea Ripley ends up winning this match, but you know why, Reggie?
One of my favorite female wrestlers actually came out. She's been gone for a while. She made her appearance at Royal Rumble. I actually called that she would make an appearance at Royal Rumble.
You did.
Yes, the great Nia
So
Jax, the one
yes,
who
Nia
made Becky
Jax.
Lynch, she made Becky Lynch who she was. So Nia Jax comes in out of nowhere, uh, and helps. We think she helps Rhea by taking Raquel out and giving her to Rhea to go ahead and finish her. And then Rhea wants to, I guess, give her props or whatever. And she headbutts Rhea, does the leg drop, the old my where's my whole leg drop as I call it because she missed that
Ooh.
and she yelled out my whole. So that's my whole leg drop, and then she hits her with the bonsai splash, which if people don't know, Nia Jax is also uh, related to Roman Reigns and the bloodline in that family. So kind of her
Hmm.
homage to Yokozuna doing the bonsai splash, and I hope they keep that as her finisher also. So Nia Jax is back in town. Everybody be warned. Everybody be aware. You're looking at the future champion, Nia Jax.
Oh man, look, man, and you talking about? We just talked about how Rhea had a formidable opponent in Raquel.
Right,
Uh, Now she has another one. I mean, Nia Jax. I mean, come on, like she is a monster. You know what I mean? And you're right. She is related to the Samoan family, the Rock, and all those people, all the way through Roman Reigns, all that. So they all tied together in the bloodline, if you will. But there's Nia making that return, man, and a lot of people didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like when she was released the last time,
right,
who
right.
knows if she was gonna return. And I'm glad she's back. Um,
Yeah, me too.
Triple
Me too.
H, yeah, and Triple H, we got to give him credit, man. You mentioned Tommaso Ciampa earlier. That's one of the
Hmm.
guys that the previous brass may not have really wanted Tommaso on SmackDown
Right,
on Raw, and so Triple H has really been doing a great job with that. Look, we get to see Io Sky thanks to Triple
right.
H. So there's a lot of key players and a lot of wrestlers getting a lot of big spots over the last year or so, and so this is great, man. I can't wait to see how this pans out. Um,
Hmm.
I'll take Nia Jax in against Raquel. I'll take Nia Jax um against Rhea Ripley. Like, I
Bianca.
mean, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. Who else? I mean, the list just goes on. Shayna Baszler. Look, Shayna, and Nia were tag team champs at one time.
History, right? They have the history. Hmm.
Yeah. So there might be some grudge matches there too. I mean, it, look, man, it's so much out there right now, man.
Yeah, I actually, you mentioned that. Shout out to Triple H. I like how they conduct business now. You don't kind of burn your bridge. You can still have another chance. Sometimes life happens, things happen. So I'm glad they worked something out, and she's made a return.
Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, Reggie, we're gonna do one quick commercial break, and then we're gonna talk about one more match, and then we'll be out of here.
Okay.
So let's get ready for that. This commercial break, probably about a minute, 30 seconds, and then we'll be right back.
Imagine a fulfilling career as an orthodontic assistant that is fast, affordable, and convenient, that provides the freedom you desire. Welcome to the School of Orthodontic Assisting. As Georgia's only in-person, hands-on education center for orthodontic assisting with over 40 years combined experience, we understand the constant demand for experienced orthodontic assistants. By not taking the steps to gain the necessary education and hands-on experience, you risk missing out on a life-changing opportunity and the chance to secure a financially stable future.
That's why we created the School of Orthodontic Assisting. Our 8-week comprehensive program is designed to fast-track your career, equipping you with the skills and knowledge needed to become a highly skilled orthodontic assistant.
Once you graduate, you will have the opportunity to enjoy a fulfilling career as an X-ray certified orthodontic assistant. If you're worried about fitting the program into your busy schedule, we've made it easy for you. Once accepted, you simply pick the dates that work best for you, and we'll take care of the rest. Enrollment is limited, so don't miss out on the opportunity to transform your life and career. Act now and secure your spot in our next class.
Visit our website at gasoa.net to learn more about our program and to apply. If you're already on the website, click the Apply Now button to start your enrollment process. It's time to stop searching and start building a successful career in orthodontics. Take control of your future by enrolling in the School of Orthodontic Assisting today and experience the hope and confidence that comes with pursuing your dream career.
All right, we're back, Reggie. And
Oh
so
yeah.
for those who are looking for a new skill, check it out. All right, definitely check it out. I mean, that's the right field to be in too, when you're thinking about that. So check out the School of Orthodontist Assistant, 2959 Georgia Highway 151, Building C, Suite A, Noonan, Georgia, 30265. The number is four. I'm sorry, the number is 678-876-4474. You can reach them at, you can check out their website, www.gasoa.net. You also can hit them over the email, info@gasoa.net. And look, there's people out here. If you get into this field, there's plenty of people out here that you can help out, especially this guy right here. You know,
Nick Foley.
yeah, you might be able to do some work there, and that'd be a great set of teeth there to work on. So uh, definitely go out there on the web and make everybody make a lot of people's mouths look a little better. Appreciate that.
Right.
All right, Reggie.
Right. Oh yeah.
Before we close this thing out, my man, there was one more match that we need to discuss. Um, matter of fact, it's fairly recent, and it was on Tuesday night on NXT. And so
Historic.
let's talk a little bit about that.
It was a historic match. We had those that didn't know, Tiffany Stratton a few weeks ago. She mentioned that how was it that she worded it? She was talking about the women that have won the NXT title, and she mentioned Becky, but Becky was like, "Hey, I actually haven't won the NXT title." So she was kind of off Becky's radar, but she accidentally put herself on Becky's radar. She's been coming out interrupting interviews and things of Becky, and they finally had the match last night and Tuesday night, and which I was kind of surprised actually because I actually started watching a little Tiffany Stratton matches, and she's definitely a great wrestler and deserves the NXT title. But surprisingly, Becky made history and she pinned Tiffany Stratton and became the NXT Women's Champion. So that's something. She's held every women's title, and we'll see where this goes now. Becky's in the NXT. What you got to say about that?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Uh, this is a great experience for Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great way for her to, for people to get to know who she is, get to see her on a national stage. And I'm not talking about just the title match, just everything
Right.
leading up to it. Remember, she showed up
Mm-hmm.
at the Premium Live event. She showed up on Raw a couple of nights with the title, and constantly and doing some more interviews and challenging for issuing the challenge to Becky Lynch. So if we was using this as an analogy, it would be kind of like Anthony Edwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a young superstar in the NBA, future kind of rising, and you can kind of project is going to be a star. And then, he's calling out LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they play one on one or something like that. It's kind of like that where you have the future star. And so Tiffany
Right.
Stratton, I think she has a lot of fitness background. She
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of gymnastics type background, and she has that one move where she can jump from one rope. I mean, from one level of the rope, the first level, second level, third level, and then backflip. Like it's an awesome move that she has to show that athleticism that she has. She has a great presence. Um, she's already,
Yes.
to me, she's outside of experience. She's pretty much ready to be on, Raw, SmackDown. Like
Right.
if
Right.
you look at her, yeah, you look at her, you can tell like she'll fit right in. But this is
Right.
great because I don't think it's over. I think she got to get a rematch, things like that. So she'll be learning a lot going up against Becky Lynch like this. It's going to be great for not just her, but everybody else that's in that locker room
Right.
and
Right.
in
Right.
NXT. You know, day in and day out, you get to see how Becky Lynch works. So that's what I got for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the match, and like you said, it's one of those. Um, it's not a future past because they're both right now. Becky's kind of in her prime, and Tiffany's getting there. Like you said, basketball is kind of a Curry, Trey Young type thing.
That's a
So,
good one too. Yeah.
I like the match, and Tiffany definitely held her own with one of the best that we have in the business. And congratulations to Becky. Like I said, she won every title in WWE. Just another notch on her belt. Future Hall of Famer, and look forward to her back in NXT on a different role this time. She'll be kind of like you said, the leader.
Yeah. Exactly. And so, man. That's great, man. I mean, that's a great setup that they have going on with NXT. You kind of working
Mhm.
them both together. I think all that works out well for everybody. And what a treat for those people who get to go watch NXT. They get to see Becky Lynch. They get to see Dirty Dom. They get to see the Judgment Day, kind of show up in and out of there. We had the New Day in there not too long ago. So
Mhm.
they're kind of weaving
Solid.
people
Okay.
back and forth, and that's good. All right.
Right.
Well, Reggie, I think we're going to kind of ease out of here for tonight, but we thank everybody for tuning in and watching the show. And
Thank you,
make sure you
Mr.
hit that like,
Foreman.
subscribe. Oh, you're welcome, man. No problem. But remember, like, subscribe, notification bell. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring for us, man. It does nothing but help us. So for Reggie, I'm Mr. 411. We out of here. We'll see y'all later.